Welcome to my channel, where we discuss everything and all things politics, especially about the 2023 presidential election held in Nigeria on February 25. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu controversially announced the winner of the election. And that controversial election result was challenged at the Presidential Election Petition Court, from where the matter has now headed to the Supreme Court, because the major petitioners did not accept the validation of Tinubu's election that was made by the Presidential Election Petition Court. But in this video, I want to show that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has unleashed the biggest propaganda machinery in Nigeria's political history. He has unleashed the biggest, the most widespread propaganda machinery in Nigeria's history. No administration has been so concerned about laundering its image. And of course, there are so many things about the president that people are seeking for answer. For example, did he attend the Chicago State? Did he actually graduate from Chicago State University? Some people believe that the recent deposition by Chicago State University, that he attended, that he graduated, has settled us. But there are many who did not agree. There are those who are doing investigation in Chicago State University right now. A former student of that university, an investigative journalist, is working on that because he's not convinced. Because he claimed that the yearbook of 1979 that could have put paid or could have put final conclusion to whether he graduated is missing. And if you go online to go and check the yearbook of Chicago State University, you will discover that 1979 is missing. There are those who are saying that he could not have his degree that he got in Chicago State University cannot stand because the qualifying certificate he used to enter was fake. They claim that the GCE, the HSC was fake. They claim that Tinubu never attended government college, claimed that he graduated from Government College Lagos in 1970, when the college was actually built in 1974. So he claimed he graduated from a college that was not in existence at the time he put there. There's also the issue of his primary education and secondary school education. Because remember, in his first attempt as politics, when he wanted to contest for governor of Lagos State, he did put that he attended Government College Ibadan. He did put that he attended there's one school in Lagos. I couldn't remember the name of the school of my head right now. But those schools eventually, according to Bode George, a PDP chieftain, when they investigated, they found that those schools doesn't exist. And when Tinubu was filling his academic records to contest for president, he left those primary and secondary vacant and only filling Chicago State University. And people were asking, how did you manage to get to university without primary and secondary education? But that is a debate for another day. Now, all these are information that are looking for explanation. Also, don't forget, there is also the allegation. One of the risk grant Peter Obi and Atiku Abubakar are seeking for the nullification of his election was that he was indicted in drug dealing because he forfeited $460,000 proceeds of narcotic to the United States government. And they are saying, based on that, he should be disqualified. Okay, now there is the back and forth. The forfeiture, was it civil or criminal? Which one is it? There are those who are saying that Tinubu didn't do anything wrong, has not done anything wrong. After all, he has never been convicted of any drug dealing. It's only that he forfeited the money. Then there is also those who are defending him, saying that, in fact, which was agreed by the court, by the Presidential Election Petition Court, that it was his account that was indicted and not himself. That it was his account that was indicted for having $460,000 proceeds of narcotics. Now, all these apparent lack of transparency and openness on who he really is the reason why the other day, the Labour Party presidential candidate, Peter Obi, addressed a World press conference challenging Bola Ahmed Tinubu to tell Nigerians and the world who he really is. What is his real name? Which schools, which primary, secondary, and university schools, university did he attend? Which primary, secondary, university did he attend? What are the certificates that he got? What are the years that he got them? When did he serve the new national? When did he serve for the compulsory national youth service? And everything. Now, apparently, because of all these kinds of challenge, which is not new to Tinubu, because he has been facing this matter right from Gani Faomi when he was governor in Lagos, and several other matters like this. Apparently, because of this, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has unleashed the biggest propaganda machinery in history of Nigeria on Nigerian people. He has filled his government with information managers. You can call them information mismanagers, information misinformation, those who are going to spin things. You can see how they started with the release of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's documents to Atiku Abubakar. The first thing they did was to unleash that Chicago State University has verified Tinubu's certificate. It was now found, it was the Nigerians, that's what Nigerians were told. But the deposition said different thing. The deposition, the Chicago State University registrar, Caleb Westberg, said, I don't know where Tinubu got the certificate submitted to the Independent National Electoral Commission. But what you saw on the headline, in the major newspapers, television houses, radio station, was that Chicago State University verifies Tinubu's certificate. If it was so simple that they can easily verify his certificate, then why did Tinubu waste all the time in the world to stop Atiku from getting it? He should have been joyful that Atiku should be allowed to get it because he's not going to find anything. But it's because they know that he's going to find something. That was why they blocked Atiku Abubakar until the last minute. Remember, even those who are saying that they have the Chicago State University has cleared Tinubu that he was male, but it was Tinubu himself that in one of his defense begged Judge Nancy Maldonado that even if he's going to release the result of his academic record, that they should not give Atiku the gender of the owner of the certificate. So why was he concerned about gender? If he was sure it's a male, that he has male in all his documents. Now, this just to bring to you the example, to show you that Tinubu has unleashed the biggest propaganda machinery, and they have their job cut out for them. Of course, you know that recently he has beefed up what he called the Directorate of Media and Publicity Directorate when he appointed Mr. Fela Durutoye, Senior Special Assistant to the President on National Value and Social Justice. Mr. Frederick Nwabofo, Senior Special Assistant to the President public engagement. Miss Linda Nwabuwa Ahibe, Senior Special Assistant to the President, Strategic Communications. Mr. Aliyu Audu, Special Assistant to the President on Public Affairs. Mr. Francis Ada Aba, Personal Assistant to the President, Special Duties. These are all in the Media Directorate. Remember also before now, the President had appointed Ajuri Ngelale as Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity. President also has in this same team, he has Tunde Rahman, Senior Special Assistant, Media. He has Ablaziz, Senior Special Assistant, Print Media. He has Otega Ogra, Senior Special Assistant, Digital New Media. He has Tope Ajayi, Senior Special Assistant, Media and Public Affairs. Now he has, again, Bayo Onanuga, SA, Information and Strategy. Now these are about 11 people. 11 people that will be paid by taxpayers. But that is not even the issue alone. These people are to spin misinformation, propaganda to confuse Nigerians. And that's why Nigerians themselves have to cross-check anything that is coming from the presidency. For example, remember when Ajuri Ngelale claimed that the United Arab Emirates has allowed flight relationship with Nigeria and United Arab Emirates, that the flight has resumed between the two countries and everything else. It was turned out to be a lie. There are so many spin that had come from that directorate. The other time, Ngelale said that Biden is literally dying to meet with Tinubu, and that they are going to meet at this sideline of the United Nations General Assembly. And he said that Tinubu was the only world African leader that Biden was ready to meet on the sideline of the United Nations General Assembly. And the United Nations General Assembly had come and gone. Biden didn't meet with Tinubu. So many things are going on. So many things are going on, and the president has enough men now, it seems, to be able to spin things around. Nigeria has never had it this big in terms of a team that will spearhead disinformation. Because that's what I call it. Because if you really, your information is credible, you are ready to give credible information. You do not need many people to be able to deliver this information. When Obasanjo was president, he had only, how many people did he have as spokesperson? He had Remi Oyo. I don't know whether you remember her. He had Remi Oyo as special assistant of media and publicity. At one time, he also had Doyin Okukwe as special assistant of media and publicity. Okay, that was it. Because Obasanjo don't need propagandists to tell what his government is doing. Now, under Buhari, many of you are conversant with the people he appointed in his first term. He had only Femi Adesina, the special advisor on media and publicity, and then Garba Shehu, senior special assistant on media and publicity. These were the two that handled his matter for 8 years. Of course, in his second term, he later had people like Ngelale, who was senior special assistant. That was during his second term. Then you have somebody like Bashir Ahmed, who was his special assistant on new media. That's for Buhari. Because Apparently, Buhari don't have need to have people to spin a lot of information coming out from him. In the case of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, what he had initially was Imani Boro as his spokesperson. Then at a point, I think Ruben Abati, I think Tinubu wanted, Goodluck Jonathan wanted an improvement in the management of his image. He did away with Imani Boro, which was ill-advised, because when Ruben Abati took over, the management of the image of Tinubu, of Jonathan, was in total disarray. Ruben Abati didn't do anything positive. In fact, he got to the point that even the Niger Delta elder, Edwin Clark, had to call out Ruben Abati that he's not protecting his principal very well, because there was barrage of attacks right, left, and center. And Ruben Abati, you see him now being very vociferous and talking at Arise Television. He wasn't saying much to defend his principal. He allowed Jonathan to be roasted by the Southwest literally dominated media at the time. In terms of they were just taking Jonathan to the cleaners and messing up. But that's by the way. But what I'm saying is this: Jonathan, Obasanjo, and Buhari, they don't need this army of image launderers to be able to sell their government. But apparently, Tinubu has a lot that these people have to cover up. They have to be able to defend. His plate is filled with a lot of questions looking for answer. And I think he believed that he needed to unleash this many people in his media directorate to counter anybody, online, offline, everywhere you want it. Print media, television, radio, they are everywhere. But that is at a huge cost to the taxpayers. And of course, they have their job cut out for them too. Because already, by the end of October, towards the end of October, the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation in the United States, are on the verge of releasing 250,000 page documents or dossier they have on the president. And they are not alone. In fact, FBI said they will be releasing 500 pages a month. It means that it's going to take them 5 months to finish releasing all the information they had on the president of Nigeria. Then you have the CIA ready to unleash their own information. You have the Inland Revenue Service in America, this IRS, that's what they call it in America. They're also going to unleash their own. Then the State Department, then the Drug Administration in the United States. And all these things are based on the request, Federal Freedom of Information Act request by an American anti-corruption fighter and David Hunde, based on their application to have these things made public. These organizations in America say they are going to unleash this information on the Nigerian people so that Nigerians and whoever is interested can study them. Perhaps it is because of things like this that in which the president will need a whole lot of people to defend his interest, to defend his own view, since he's not ready to come out to talk. You can see that when Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, called him out, said that he should tell Nigerians his real identity and all that. You can see the army of people, both from the Directorate of Media and Publicity, the presidency, and then all kinds of mushroom NGOs and everything. They are everywhere now, telling Peter Obi why Tinubu will not speak to Nigerians and all that. But it is not new. Even Tinubu didn't talk to Nigeria much in the campaign. He refused to attend any of the debates that was organized by presidential candidates. He snubbed Nigerians. He didn't talk to them, and even people who are talking about his program and all that, Nigerians cannot really say that they heard Tinubu very well in the campaign. He was only moving around in the campaign, speaking for 1 or 2 minutes and all that. But in terms of a debate where he could be probed to hear his real voice, he was nowhere to be found. He snubbed Nigerians, and he is doing the same now. Ordinarily, in other countries of the world, with the weight of evidence that Atiku came back with from America, that was enough for the president to address the nation and deal with those issues himself, instead of using surrogates. As Peter Obi pointed out, that the issue at stake right now doesn't require the use of surrogates, that the man should come out himself. But obviously, the man has shown sign that he's not ready to come out. He has unleashed on the Nigerian public the biggest propaganda machinery in Nigeria's history. In a peacetime. The last time Nigerians may have experienced such propaganda was during the Civil War, when there was all kinds of propaganda machinery that was unleashed to ensure that information was properly in line with what the government of Nigeria wanted it to be. But in a peacetime, this country has never witnessed this Amanda of information propagandist as we are seeing right now. We are going to wait and see the end of it. But definitely, for a government that is crying about the state of the economy, and the economy, let's be frank about it, is in a dire strait. Already, the Naira is heading south fast. The last time I checked, Naira was selling 1,002 Naira to the dollar. That's at the black market. And then at the official window, it's over 700 Naira. And for a country that is import dependent, you know what that means in the cost of goods and services consumed in the country. Ordinarily, you would think that a government that is aware of this enormity of financial strain of the country will run a slim government and have fewer media minders, but not this one. This 11 is the one that I can remember. I could count that have been unleashed on Nigerians. Perhaps there are others I forgot to put in this list. You can add it on the commentary box. But these are those who are going to be in charge of misinformation, to manipulate information. That is why whatever you hear from them, you have to cross-check it from other sources to be sure, so that you don't fall a victim to misinformation, so that at least you can have your sanity while you watch what becomes of the country's economy going forward. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.